I know exactly why you're here. You look at the thumbnail and we're like, ah yes, a fellow man of culture. And yes, here's the thumbnail again so we can look at it in all of its glory. The astonishing polygon apps. I know, but Yoru, my boy, has a lot more than only his magnificent looks at display. And so I thought, wait, why don't I actually explain to you all why Yoru is the perfect husband material in this wonderful video titled, Why Yoru is the Best Husband. Gone wrong, gone explicit, gone violent? Like and subscribe.
Lifelez.
So, to actually explain what I like about my husband Yoru, I need to explain what I like about my wife Tracer. Trust me, this story is actually going somewhere. For all the people that don't know who Tracer is and probably Overwatch, meaning that you neither played online video games in a time period of 2016 or 2018, or watched animated from that time period, because let's face it, Overwatch half fandom is basically based. Who the shit even knows through that fuck? To those people, I will explain who the fuck Tracer is. Tracer is a cover girl of a little FPS shooter game called Overwatch, where every character has at least one ability that if it would be added to Valorant, Twitter and Reddit would be in flames. I mean, you just need to even breathe to set Twitter on flames. But still, well, Tracer in particular. Tracer is one of the most annoying, tremendously getting on the nerves, anger-inducing, and most penetrative character in the game. And I love her so much for that shit. You can't imagine how satisfying it is to bust around an enemy and watching them twist and turn in pain as they slowly realize that after 3 teleports, the cooldown goes back to 0. And you can finish them off with the 4th one. Bruh. This is peak bullshit at this point. But it's so beautiful. Something other even more satisfying is what I call the bong finisher. Or the bong touch. It's the gentle movement and all of it resulting death that is so beautiful. It's the right amount of disrespect and elegancy to finish somebody with a bonk and rewinding back in time. It's so goddamn satisfying, boy. So my type of gameplay is that of somebody who just after he snort a line of cocaine mixed with a little bit of ecstasy, give a high caffeine and sugar mixed string while pressing controller in his hand so he can enjoy some funny rounds of an FPS shooter. AKA, I clearly have an attention problem, but who gives a fuck? That's why I like to play Overwatch, Dead Cells or Hades, because there's always something to do. When you are in the flow, nothing can really stop you. Not even death. I mean, you just respawn in 10 seconds anyway. You know what I mean? But understandably, Valorant as a tactical FPS that lays its own worth by being a game about slow play, extreme precision, and the accuracy jump of an operator shot by their even slightest movement that results into me instead of hitting the head of my enemy, shooting through the whole fucking space-time continuum! Okay, there's no room for a crackhead character in the game. The closest agent to Tracer is Jet, but her dash is either a death sentence or a way to bridge 10 meters until I need to refill by executing 2 enemy enemy members. Omen can teleport, but it's more a Reaper knockoff than something else. So I waited and waited, played characters that healed so I wouldn't be flamed for instant lucky duelist until the day came when my prayers were heard. His teleport is basically the closest what I will get to Elysium while playing Valorant. Admittedly, he is neither fast-paced as an Overwatch character nor so annoying as a Cypher or Killjoy. I mean, goddamn, who thought it would be a great idea to put the sentry turret of Portal into the f***ing game? Another thing is I like to do as Yoru, except of dying by people who camp on my TP, is the ult psych move. Even in the low-life silver elo, people tend to pick up the habits of the enemy team relatively fast. If you push A all the time, the enemy will stack on A. If you try to be sneaky all the time, you will get the f***ing die. And if you use the ult so obviously blandly to then TP back to a safe spot after a few rounds, nobody will f***ing care about you. Nobody really cares. They will just ignore you and focus on the enemy team. But oh boy, you're wrong on this note, chief. And that puts the psych in the Yoru cycle. His steps are useless except when you use them so people get off the spike diffuse. Or to annoy people on bind with the TP and do the same thing you do with the Yoru's ult, let them think you just use the steps to annoy them until the time is right for those juicy kills. Worth it. And yeah, that is the reason why I play Yoru. And because he's a hot and cool looking tsundere.